Right, this is a little project which has been in my mind for a long time, and I finally got around to making a start on it. Now, this will be, when it's done, an electromagnet engine based on the similar principle that was used in the Empire electromagnet engines. That's the B32, the B33 and the B39. And that is, you have two small electromagnets that are mounted with an armature rocker which goes between the two of them. And this is the principle that the Empire electromagnet engines use. Then you've got a flywheel. There's still quite a bit to make. I've literally only really just started on this. Let me start the turntable going so you can see the rest of it. And basically you have a connecting rod, which I still have to make, which links the rocker arm to a crank, which drives the crankshaft, which has got the flywheel on it. Now, the electromagnets are alternately switched, and you need some sort of contact breakers, one for each magnet, and then on here there will be a cam which will activate those contact breakers. So as you see, there's still, as I said, there's still quite a lot to make. You know, we've got the flywheel in place at the moment, but the guts of it is there now. I will probably put some sort of switch and some terminals here to provide power. But it's now got to the point where there is something there, so you can see what I'm getting at when it comes to the basic principle of the engine. So, yeah, this is going to be a long-term project. I've got various other steam engine restores and other stuff that I'm doing in the intervening period of time. So basically, when I get a break between doing those, I go back to working on this. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. Whether it'll actually work or not, of course, is another question entirely. I don't work from plans. I simply have ideas. Sometimes I'll do a sketch on a bit of paper, but I don't do detailed plans or anything. So yeah, this is hopefully going to be an all-new retro Steamtech electromagnet motor. Well, the electromagnet engine has progressed a little bit further. The cam's been made now, and that's obviously attached to the shaft using a 6/8 grub screw, so I can adjust that, because that will probably need tweaking to get the actuation correct. I opted for a kind of flat knife switch arrangement for the power, which was probably a bit of a mistake, because it could, believe it or not, it took me quite a long time to make that. The brass posts have an off-center hole drilled up through the middle. There is a spring in there and a ball bearing, so that when the lever moves over, it actually clips into place. I thought that would be a good idea until I started making it, and then it turned out all right. But yeah, a lot of work. So all we are waiting for now are the leaf switches. I'm still waiting for those there to coming from eBay. They will be mounted on a block underneath the pillar there to go up and press against the cam. I shall make a pulley for it. It's always assuming it actually runs. I doubt very much whether it'll have any power, but I'll make a pulley up for it anyway. Then there's basically just the wiring and finishing off. So yeah, coming along nicely. Well, here is the finished electromagnet engine. The leaf switches have been fitted, as you can see here. Let's turn the table on. And the wiring's done. So, yeah, pretty much as I imagined it would be. So I'm quite pleased with the way it turned out. Looks okay. The wiring is done. I'll turn it upside down in a minute so you can have a look at the underside. But yeah, it's all worked out fairly well. The only problem is it doesn't work. I had a feeling that it might not. As I say, the whole design has just come out of my head. But in theory, it should work. I basically think that the problem is simple lack of horsepower with regard to the electromagnets. These are only very low I think 2.5 kilo pull on these electromagnets. So if you look at the electromagnets that are in the Empire electromagnet engines, they are extremely powerful. And there are 4 of them in the B33, for example. So what I've done is I've ordered some 10 kilo pull electromagnets. They're slightly physically bigger than those, but I can modify the mounts to take them quite easily. And hopefully that will provide enough oomph to actually get this thing to run. But yeah, so, you know, yeah, you think of these things and, well, it was an idea, and in theory, as I said, it does work. The leaf switching works fine. So yeah, theory-wise, it's fine. It's just in practice, there just simply isn't enough pull on the magnets to make it run. But other than that, it's fine. Right, let's flip it over so you can see the underside. Yeah, the wiring looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. Basically because I opted to use a terminal block so that should I need to remove any of it, the wiring doesn't hold anything in place, so I can actually quite easily remove any of the electrical parts of it and replace them, which obviously I want to do because the electromagnets are going to be changed. So yeah, so that's the wiring. So that's it for now on the somewhat failed electromagnet engine. I'm hoping it will run eventually. We'll change the magnets and see if that gives it enough oomph. Also, of course, another thing I can do is I can put a smaller flywheel on. That flywheel is quite heavy. And again, that might help with the whole situation. But for now, it's just a very nice thing to look at. It doesn't actually do anything. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Cheers.